Shall I start, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Mangalacharya prayers.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. You can go ahead.
अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांशं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्ण करुणसिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. That was nice start about Thursday Sangha. And I was just thinking about how far we have come. We are so fortunate to have devotees association, and all the while, like this 2025 is also starting off on a good note, and we have covered some more chapters, and we're going to be diving into that. But before we go into Krishna Katha, we'll just do a bit of Kirtan, quick one, and then we will go into the Kirtan, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Swarupa Prabhuji is that. Welcome to the Sangha. Hare Krishna Sanchita ji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Swarup ji. Thank you for joining us.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to the group. Yeah, we'll do a bit of Kirtan and then we'll dive into that. Hare. First, I think we'll go in the Jai Radha Madhava. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Gayatri ji. Thank you for joining us.
Very beautiful.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, definitely. All we are devotees. Like this is what Prabhupada has given us, a beautiful platform, a spiritual platform for all of us to join together. And I was just thinking, like the meaning of ISKCON, Krishna Society. The society is created for our devotees, all like-minded, to come together and share our beautiful Krishna Katha. And I mean, I was literally what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita is what we've been following, right? Machchitta madgita pranam bodhayante parasparam katayantyascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Krishna says, the thoughts of my devotees, they always dwell in me. And the devotees, they get great satisfaction and bliss by always enlightening each other about Krishna. So this is exactly what we are trying to do here. What Krishna is telling about his devotees, that my devotees are always talking about me. They're getting great pleasure. They're getting great bliss and satisfaction by always enlightening each other about Krishna. And this is a beautiful platform where all of us in our Sadhu Sangha is such an important thing, that all of us, we just share our thoughts together. And otherwise, how can we love Krishna? Because Krishna says towards the end of our life, if you think about me, then you will come to me. If you think about your materialist things, that is where you will go. But how can we always think about Krishna unless we develop love for Krishna? And that love for Krishna will come up when we have this beautiful mood of devotion among the satsang of all devotees, sharing with each other the beautiful leelas of Krishna. Nama, Rupa, Leela, Guna, all the four of them. Unless we discuss about them, then only we'll be able to relish the beautiful Krishna Katha. I just see a hand from Induleka Devidasi ji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna all. Gayatri Mataji is from Canada as well. So please, we'll have to add her name so that I don't have to send her.
Oh, that's wonderful, Gayatri ji.
I mean, and thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Induleka Mataji. Thank you. Yeah, I was always longing for association, but through you now I'm getting it. I'm so happy.
Thank you. So we will add you. I'm first day on this platform because yesterday was the day before I joined. I didn't have time before. And Prabhuji, thank you for saying that association of devotees. You know, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Sastra Kahiye, Lava Matra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoye. So I just said that in the class earlier on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sadhu Sangha is so important because only in the association of devotees we'll be able to relish Krishna Katha. It's so important. I always say that these things should happen hand in hand. One side, we chant the holy names of Krishna, but in order to make our chanting more deep, we have to listen to Krishna Katha. And when we listen to Krishna Katha, we develop more love for Krishna. Then our chanting also becomes more sweeter. And in the same way, a lot of time people don't understand Bhagavad Gita, but I always say that Bhagavad Gita is very easily understood if you're able to link it with Krishna Katha, because the theory is Bhagavad Gita, but the practicals you can see in Srimad Bhagavatam. And we are so fortunate that we are here reading this book, beautiful book called KrishnaBook. I always tell them, like, people know about Facebook, but how many people know about KrishnaBook? And and we are so fortunate. We are covering KrishnaBook here in this Sangha. And Krishna has been so kind and merciful. Wherever the devotees are chanting my name, that's where Krishna says, Naham tistami vaikunta yoginam hrudayeshicha tata tistami narada yatra gayantri madbhakta. Wherever my devotees are chanting my holy name, wherever my devotees are glorifying me, that is where I reside. So this itself is like a kirtan. This is itself like having the association of devotees and all together, singing together and discussing about Krishna Katha is something which is very, very blissful. On that note, Ajay Prabhu, Hare Krishna, thank you for joining us. And Usha Mataji, thank you for joining
Hare
us.
Krishna, Shyam Prabhuji.
Yes.
Sorry for being late.
Oh, no
I
problem. I was just
Just
looking
came
at
from
you.
work.
I was just thinking, yeah. I mean, I really don't take it lightly, because on a weekday where everybody is so busy with their work, but still taking time for Krishna, this is something which pleases Krishna the most. Neha Bikramanasasti Pratyavayona Vidyate Swalpam Abhyasa Dharmasya. Even if you take a little bit of seva for Krishna, a little bit of effort for Krishna, that will make Krishna so happy. And Paritosh Prabhu, thank you for joining us. It's nice you change your name, otherwise you would have just taken it as like,
I know.
yeah.
That's why I
was
changed
just
my
about to tell
name.
you. I know by your name, but it's just that because
I
that
know.
beautiful picture only you have of Krishna with the pot, Balagopala with the pot. So yeah, thank you for joining us.
No,
So
thank
just
you. Sorry, I haven't been around, and I said I must today join you, because I've missed Krishna. So yeah, definitely.
Definitely. It makes me even more happy when we have all our devotees joining
Yes.
together, and this is what's happening. And we see Krishna and Radha and Krishna on a swing, also witnessing our Krishna Katha as well. So without further delay, we'll just go into the book reading. So please bear with me. I am going to be sharing, and then we're going to go into this. So we were actually covered last week. We were covering, speaking about this beautiful chapter, like every chapter of Krishna Katha. And so for the devotees who are joining for the first time, as you all know, like we are actually reading from the KrishnaBook, which is taken from Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is a study of Srila Vyasadeva, Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. And 10th canto is a nectar where we are actually covering the Leelas of Krishna. And we have covered all these chapters, the advent of Lord Krishna, prayers by the demigods, and beautiful, all the divine leaders, how Mother Yashoda binds Lord Krishna. We covered so much of nectar all this while, and then we are here right now. We have covered, we are 5 queens of married by Krishna, that has been covered. And then we also started last week with the deliverance of demon Baumasura. Now, we already started off with this chapter, and just to give a backdrop before we go into that, we will just do the invocation for Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwara Rishabhanuste Devi Pranamami Hari Priya. Prabhupada Ki Jai. So this is another beautiful chapter. This is one particular chapter is very interesting because many times all of us, we have heard about Krishna as having 16,000 wives, princes, queens whom he has married, but we do not know the complete story. And we are so fortunate because Prabhupada has given us this nectar, completely everything that has been translated from Sanskrit to English. And before we start this beautiful chapter, one particular thing we always have to keep in mind is the beautiful sloka from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti takataha chaktudeham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. So we have to always keep that in mind, that whenever we are listening to Krishna Katha, Janma karma cha divyam, which means Krishna's appearance, Krishna's karma that Krishna does, whatever the beautiful divine pastimes that Krishna does, these are all to be understood as completely transcendental and completely spiritual, not to be understood on the material platform. Because many times we make the mistake where we talk about Krishna spending time with the gopi, but we have to understand this is all being done on a very, very transcendental. Whatever Krishna does, it is completely transcendental, completely spiritual. So we have to have that bhava. You need to have in that mood of devotion, we have to understand, because Krishna is unlimited. Krishna's leelas are unlimited. So everything that is done is divyam. That's why it says Janma Karma Cha Divyam. Everything that Krishna does is divyam. So, and very important thing to understand is Krishna is called as Atma Rama. That means he's someone who's always self-satisfied. Krishna doesn't need anything from this material world. In the spiritual world, Krishna is being served by thousands of goddesses of fortune. There is no need for Krishna to depend on anything from the material world. In fact, when Krishna comes into this material world by his own Hiladini Shakti, he creates. So Radharani comes out of his own Hiladini Shakti of Krishna is manifested in the form of Radharani. So he's depending on his own internal Shakti also for these divine pastimes in the form of Radharani. But at the same time, throughout the Krishna's Leelas, we have to understand that Krishna is always reciprocating to the feelings of his devotees, right? Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha duskritam dharma samstapanardaya sambhavami yuge yuge. See, he says it mainly comes for the love of his devotees, to enjoy the beautiful pastimes with his devotees and to reciprocate the love, whether it is Mother Yashoda, whether it's Mother Devaki, or anyone, Nanda Maharaj, or even the Gopikas, or even Uddhava. All of them, Krishna is, there is a beautiful story behind all of them, how they landed up having a son like Krishna. Krishna is always reciprocating because of so much of austerities that they have done in this life. Krishna is reciprocating to the love of his devotees. Whether it is Rukmini literally only heard about Krishna and she fell in love with Krishna. And she writes a letter to Krishna. Krishna, I have made up my mind that I'm not going to marry anyone other than you, Krishna. And Krishna is reciprocating to the love of Rukmini. So he goes over there and he takes her in the chariot and brings her to Dwaraka. So we have seen that throughout all the chapters that Krishna is always reciprocating. He doesn't need anything, but he loves his devotees, as he says, Paritranaya sadhunam. So he loves his devotees so much that throughout the divine pastime, the beautiful pastimes of Krishna where he's showing. So on one hand, he's for the love of you, he's showing how much he loves his devotees. On the other hand, he's come to put an end to all the demoniac people. And for people who say like, how come Krishna has killed everybody in battle? Krishna is only trying to, because Mother Earth, she goes crying to Brahma, saying that there is too much of demoniac people on the planet, and that's why Krishna comes, because hearing the cries of Mother Bhumi Devi. And now this particular story is again linked to the Bhumi Devi also, which you can see later. She comes into the picture. So just a quick recap about this chapter, because we covered a few paragraphs of this. So the deliverance of demon Baumasura. So in India, most of us know Baumasura as Narakasura, right? Many times, like we all heard about it, but his another name of the demon is called as Baumasura as well. And this Baumasura, what he did is actually, he went and abducted or kidnapped 16,000 princes from different palaces, from different kings, because this Baumasura or Narakasura was a very, very powerful guy. And he would go ahead and do all these things. And not only that, you can imagine that when you say Dwapara Yuga, even the demons are also, the kind of a power that they had in those days was completely amazing, like the power that even the demons had. Can you imagine someone like Narakasura going and picking up the umbrella from the throne of demigod Varuna, or taking away the Aditi, the earrings of Aditi, the mother of the goddess and demigods, and taking a part of the Mount Meru? So these kind of things this particular demon used to do, Baumasura. And that's when King Indra goes to Dwaraka. And can you imagine that the Supreme Lord Krishna was there on this planet, and he was ruling the city or the kingdom of Dwaraka, and we would have demigods. Just like imagine you're staying in New Delhi, where the president is or prime minister is there, and you find the dignitaries from different countries coming and visiting. So similarly here in those days, in the city of Dwaraka, even the demigods used to come and visit Krishna, like Indra and all of them. And that is when Indra went and complained to Krishna that there's too much of demoniac thing happening with this person called Baumasura, and he has done all these kind of things, taking away the umbrella and all this. So Krishna goes along with his Satyabhama, along with his wife Satyabhama, to this particular city, capital city which is called Pragyotisa Pura. That's the name of the city. Now all these places are still there in India, but with a different name, like Ujjain and all these things. Like, there's different cities which are there in India. All those places are very much there. In fact, you will be surprised that when you go to places like Vrindavan, if you take a proper guide, they will just literally show you all the places where Lord Krishna and Balaram used to play over there, where they used to go and have lunch. the place where Mother Yashoda used to make butter for Krishna in even the places where she used to churn the butter, even those places are very much still there. And we find it is so amazing to see, like, the pillars are being constructed by Vishwakarma. So everything is so surreal, even if it is still there. So we have to understand that it was during the Dwapara Yuga, it was like a different point of time where when Krishna was there, and even the demigods he would visit. And but at the same time, during those times, there were very powerful, demoniac people like Baumasura, right? And this Baumasura had a fort which was totally guarded. Even if you take nowadays, very powerful kings, they used to fortify, they used to keep levels of security for their forts, right? Similarly, in those days also, Baumasura had so much of fortification, like, he covered his forts and his palaces with all water canals and stuff like that. But so Krishna comes to this particular place to go and teach this person a lesson, and to go and, to attack this Baumasura. And Baumasura was completely prepared. So he had a demon called as Mura as well. So he was kind of like preparing everything, and they had multiple levels of security for the palaces that are there. And when Krishna arrived, because we have to understand that Krishna is called as Bhagavan, right? Unlimited opulences he has. And one of the unlimited opulences is Krishna has unlimited strength. At the age of 7, he would lift up a Govardhan hill. What to speak of anything else, right? And he would jump from massive, huge mountains. So whatever Krishna does is which is totally transcendental, unlimited. So even his power is so unlimited that even though Baumasura had kept his fort fully fortified with all levels of security, there were no match for Krishna at all. And so Krishna would, with his arrows and with his Sudarshana Chakra, he would so easily remove the defenses, and he would just bring them to this thing. So by the vibration of the conch shell, he broke the hearts of all the great fighters, and we've seen that. And then Mura, this demon, who was actually the person who was responsible for creating all this security around the palace, he was kind of blazing with fire, and he went to try to attack Krishna. And Satyabhama came on the Garuda, right? So Mura tries to go and attack the Garuda. So even before Mura goes and attacks the Garuda, Krishna immediately starts attacking, with this club, as well as with this conch shell, and also with this Sudarshana Chakra as well. So they were no match for Krishna, because Krishna is unlimited, and the demon Mura started trying to attack even the Garuda also. In his angry mood was very severe, and but Krishna was very easily could handle all of them. The roaring vibration spread out, because the demons also, they were so powerful. Like even the Mura was so powerful that even the vibration spread all over the world. But Krishna sees that, this Mura was trying to throw this trident against Garuda, but immediately Krishna threw his arrows. He shot his arrows, which blew up this trident into pieces. So we can imagine Krishna, what kind of a meticulous, the way he would have struck. Imagine that he was throwing Mura, the demon Mura was throwing a trident against Garuda, and Krishna was kind of responded by just shooting his arrows, which broke the trident into pieces. So that was the kind of power that Krishna showed over here. And then he began to strike. Even the Mura demon tried to strike even Lord Krishna in anger with his club. But Krishna, with his own club, broke the club of Mura into pieces. So finally, Krishna took with the aid of Sudarshan Chakra, immediately separated the demon's 5 heads, because this Mura had 5 heads, right? So that was he chopped off with his Sudarshan Chakra. And again, so Mura had many sons like Antariksha, we covered that, Shravana and all that. So even they became angry because that his father was being attacked by Krishna. So they came up with all the kind of weapons and things like that. But again, Krishna, they were no match for Krishna, because Krishna will again, he would throw his arrows and cut all the weapons of the members of Baumasura and things like that. And not only that, they were just cut into their military dresses, everything were chopped off, the heads, legs, everything were chopped off. So even though Baumasura has put Mura, the demon, to guard the palace and all that, Mura as well as his sons were no match, but Krishna could easily, outmaneuver all of them. And Baumasura was also known as Narakashura. He happened to be the son of the earth personified. So he is the son of Bhumi Devi herself. And when he saw that Mura and all of them, they've been completely wiped out by Krishna, he got very angry. And then he started, he started going out of the city with his elephants in order to attack Krishna. And then the Garuda, which Krishna was going on Garuda, so the Garuda went and attacked the elephants as well. So they were like literally, they were no match for Krishna and the Garuda which he was coming through. And the result of the fight was that all the soldiers and commanders of Baumasura fell to the ground, and their arms, legs, and heads were separated from the trunk. And all the horses and elephants, they all fell away. So we covered that point in the last chapter, in the last time. And then the Lord was fighting on the back of the Garuda, was helping. Like as I said, the elephants were much pain from Garuda because Garuda started attacking them as well. And then he saw that the Krishna's Garuda had caused great disturbances. So, Baumasura was very angry with that, and he started trying to, fight against that. But even before he attacked Garuda, he felt the strokes given by Baumasura. But so no matter how much even Baumasura was trying to strike against Garuda, for the Garuda, she was just feeling like a great elephant feels the impact of a garland of flowers. So we can imagine that Krishna's Garuda also was so powerful, right? This is the very important thing that we have to understand, that anyone who has engaged in the service of Krishna, Krishna gives them, blesses them, or kind of like gives them unsurmountable strength. Like you can see Garuda, even though the Garuda was being attacked by Baumasura, she just felt like as if like the impact of a garland of flowers. So you can imagine how powerful even Garuda was, right? So this is the important thing. Even Arjuna also Arjuna was so empowered. He became the greatest archer in the world. He even fought with Lord Shiva. Where did he get all this strength from? He got all this strength from Krishna. So when we are in the service of Krishna, Krishna gives us the kind of strength for us to serve him in so many different ways. And even Arjuna realized that when Krishna left this material planet, later Arjuna was not able to even defend Krishna's princess also. And he lost a fight with him, even a roadside fighters. That is when he understood that he goes and tells his brother Yudhishthira, my brother, I thought I was such a great warrior, but now I understand that all this strength and everything is because Krishna was there with me. So because Krishna was there, he was having all the kind of a power. So we can see that even because Garuda was serving Krishna, even she was having so much of strength to withstand even the demoniac people like Baumasura. So Baumasura thus came to see that none of his tricks are working. Then he became aware that his attempts to kill Krishna would be frustrated. And finally, he'd taken a trident. Baumasura finally, he took a trident and he tried to cut. And then immediately Krishna, what he did, he cut off by his Sudarshana Chakra. And his head, illuminated by earrings and helmet, everything fell on the battlefield. So we can see that even Baumasura finally, so initial defenses were that he sent his Mura and all of them to go and attack them. So Mura and everybody, his sons and everybody were wiped out. And now Baumasura comes into the picture. He starts striking with the trident, and he starts directly tries to kill Krishna as well. But in the event, eventually Krishna used the Sudarshana Chakra and cut off his head. So on this occasion, as we can always see, like people like Kamsa and all of them, all these demoniac people had their own friends circle, right? So even the other demoniac people, they were feeling very disappointed that that Baumasura has been killed like this by Krishna. But the people in the heavenly planets like Indra, Chandra, and all the demigods, they were very happy, and they were showering flowers on the Lord Krishna. And throughout the Krishna Katha, we always seen that, right? That whenever Krishna does the Leelas, the demigods or the devatas, they were so joyful. They keep showering petals from the sky because seeing the beautiful Leelas of Krishna. So it is not only we, the devotees, aspiring devotees, that we rejoice listening to the Krishna Katha, but even the demigods and the devatas, they are just so longing to see this beautiful divine pastimes of Krishna. And that's the reason which you say Krishna is called as Paripurna Avatar. Like, so when we please Krishna, even the devatas, they also become happy. It's like watering the roots of a tree. Worshipping Krishna is like watering the roots of a tree. Everybody becomes pleased. Even the devatas become very pleased. And this is what we can see over here. And now we find that, so now Bhumi Devi, now what has happened is Lord Krishna has chopped away the head of Baumasura, which is Narakasura. And he's kind of fallen onto the ground. And now Bhumi Devi, Mother Earth, she appeared before Krishna because Baumasura is the son of Bhumi Devi. And now she's greeting with Krishna with the Vaijanta flowers. And then as we all know, this Baumasura or Narakashri, he took away the earrings of Aditi, that and then also he took away the umbrella of Varuna. So all of these things now Bhumi Devi is returning back, and she presented all of these to Krishna. And after this, then she started offering up prayers to Krishna, just like so. So these prayers are very important because they give us an understanding about how to do prayer, how to make prayers to Krishna also, because many times when we go to the temple, we have to understand, how do we glorify? What is the kind of prayers that we have to do, when we see Krishna? First is there are three things what I understand from the devotees is one, we need to glorify Radha Krishna, Radha Gokulananda. My Lord Krishna, you're looking so beautiful. Radha Rani, Radha Ma, you're looking so beautiful today. The dressings, the beautiful colors, they're looking so enchanting. You're looking so nice. One, we had to glorify the deities. And second thing, we should ask for forgiveness for all the mistakes that we have done, knowingly or unknowingly. Please forgive us for these mistakes, but I am always determined to serve you. Please kind of forgive for the offenses that I would have done to the devotees or to you. And because we are all covered by the three gunas, right? There's every chance that we could have done something out of our ignorance or anyways, but you can always ask for forgiveness. So first thing we had to do is we should glorify the deities, or rather Gokulan. The second thing, we should ask for repentance. We should ask for forgiveness. And third thing, we should ask for gratitude. Krishna and Radha Krishna, yesterday was the last day for so many people on the planet, but you've given me another beautiful day. And you've given me this beautiful life. You've given me all these beautiful things. You've given me whatever for my maintenance. I'm able to have good food. I'm able to enjoy good health. I'm able to have a good family. Also, all thanks to you. So the gratitude is something we have to offer to Krishna. So these three things are very important that we should always do when we come to the mandir. Similarly, when through Bhagavatam, when we see these beautiful prayers, then we get an idea that this is the level of, because our faith is not blind faith. Our faith is based on by the knowledge that we gain from the transcendental literature. Our faith is based on the beautiful leelas of Krishna. Our faith is based on listening to the Krishna Katha, listening to the prayers of all the devatas, the prayers of Kunti Devi, the prayers of Mother Earth, Bhumi Devi. So when we understand those kind of prayers, we kind of our consciousness, we elevate our consciousness that this is the kind of prayer that we need to actually offer, and not for some materialistic thing, because Krishna knows that there are four kind of people come to Krishna, right? Chaturvija bhajate mam jana sukritana arjuna. Krishna says the four kind of people. So, but out of all of these four, the devotees who come out of love for Krishna, Krishna says, I consider them to the best form of devotees. Tesham jnana nitya yukta eka bhaktir priya. Priyohi jnanino chartam aham sacha mama priya. So it is so Krishna says, out of all the kind of devotees, the devotees who come to me out of pure love for me, I consider them to be the best. Tesham jnani nitya yukta eka bhaktir vishishyate. So they have only this thing, that aim to please Krishna and to see the beautiful form of Krishna. So that kind of a love Krishna wants. So after this, then Mother Bhumi Devi offered her prayers to Krishna, and she began to pray. So we covered till here. Let me offer obeisances to Krishna, who is always present with the four symbols. And we've seen in the earlier chapters, Krishna is always reciprocating. You can see here the Narayana form, where he's there with his conch shell, disc, lotus, and club, and the Lord of all the demigods, right? He's the Lord of all the devatas, and they're all working for Krishna. They're all part and parcel of Krishna, including, in fact, we are also part and parcel of Krishna, right? Mamaivamsa jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. We are all, Krishna is sanatana, eternal, and we are also sanatana. We are eternal as well. But we are in the mood of devotion. We are part and parcel of Krishna. Mamaivamsa jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. And so you can find that Bhumi Devi is offering her obeisances to Krishna. My dear Lord Krishna, you are the super soul. You are, in order to satisfy aspiration of the devotees, you descend onto the planet Earth with your different avatars, right? So we can see that earlier also, if you remember, in the previous chapters, even for Muchukonda, Krishna Bhagwan, he gave him his four-arm Narayana form darshan, right? When Krishna took Kalanemi into the cave over there, and then he kicks Muchukonda, and Muchukonda was given a benediction that whoever he sees with his eyes, whoever disturbs his sleep, and when he wakes up and looks at them, they're going to burn into ashes. And then when that Leela happened, then because Muchukonda was a devotee of Krishna, in this life, Krishna gave him a darshan of his forearm Narayana form, right? So Muchukonda was so pleased. He was like, he forgot about it. He forgot that he's a devotee in his previous life. But Krishna tells Muchukonda, you were my devotee in your previous life. That's why I'm giving you my darshan. So we have to understand that Krishna never forgets. Whatever we are doing in this life, even if we have even in our next life, Krishna will not forgive whatever small endeavor that we do. Swalpam abhyasa dharmasi. Even if you do a little bit of thing, Krishna will not forget. Life after life, he will never forget whatever we do. In fact, Prabhupada used to say that Krishna has an accountant. He's keeping track of every small endeavor that we do for Krishna. Ananyas chintayantoma ye jana paryupashate tesham nityabhuktam yogashemam vahami. Whatever, whenever you're meditating on Krishna, whatever devotion you're showing towards Krishna, Krishna says, I also reciprocate your feelings. And your yoga shemam, I will take care. So here, Bhumi Devi is nicely offering a prayers, and we are just going to continue with these prayers. Quote unquote, my dear Lord, the lotus flower grows out of your navel, and you're always decorated with a garland of lotus flowers. Your eyes are always spread like the petals of a lotus flower, and therefore they're all pleasing to the eyes of others. Your soft and delicate lotus feet are always worshipped by your unalloyed devotees, and those lotus feet pacify their lotus-like heart. I therefore repeatedly offer you my respectful obeisances unto you. So we can see this beautiful prayers. So this is how we can mold our mind. This is how we can enchant our own consciousness also, to learn from the prayers of Bhumi Devi. She's saying like, where the lotus phrase grows out of your navel, grows from the navel. We know, right, from the navel of Krishna, of Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, the lotus flower comes from the navel, and you're always decorated with a garland of lotus flowers. So Krishna was, in Vishnu Sahasranama we say, right, Vanamali, so Krishna lays these flowers of beautiful flowers, of forest flowers, garland of forest flowers, and your eyes are spread like the petals of it. If you really look at it, right, many times in the world, when we see some people, one of the most important thing which makes somebody look very beautiful is the eyes, isn't it? When you have some big eyes, people look really spectacular. When you see some of the beauty of some other people, when they have nice big eyes, they look very, very enchanting, right? What to speak of the Supreme Bhagavan Sri Krishna? And imagine how beautiful his eyes must be. They're like petals of a lotus flower, and they're all pleasing to the eyes of others. So we can see that right from Rukmini Devi to Gopikas and everybody, whenever they used to look at Krishna, they were like so enchanted. When Krishna used to walk on the streets of Mathura, all the people would come to the balcony to come and see Krishna, because Krishna was so enchanting that once they looked at Krishna, they would just melt, because he was looking so beautiful that even 1,000 cupids were nowhere in comparison with him. And we see that Govindam Adipurusham, Tamaham Bhajami, in that also the beautiful description has been given about Krishna's beautiful features. So here we find the beauty of Bhumi Devi is offering her respectful obeisances. I just wanted to check if maybe if one of our devotees would like to read. Anyone would like to just read, just to make it a more. Gayatri Devi ji, would you like to do? Or anyone? Indulekha ji, just read the paragraph.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, this one which I highlighted. Would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. You possess all beauty, strength, fame, property, knowledge, and renunciation. You are the shelter of all 6 opulences. Although you are all pervading, you have appeared as the son of Vasudeva. Please, therefore, accept my respectful obeisances. You are the original Supreme Personality of Godhead and the supreme cause of all causes. Only your Lordship is the reservoir of all knowledge. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Personally, you are unborn. Still, you are the father of whole cosmic manifestation. You are the reservoir and shelter of all kinds of energies. The manifested appearance of this world is caused by you, and you are both the cause and effect of this cosmic manifestation. Please, therefore, accept my respectful obeisances. Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna, that was nice, Mataji. Thank you very much for reading that. So much of nectar, isn't it? So we had to share among our devotees the nectar also. So as Mataji just now read, he possesses all the beautiful flame. So why Krishna is called as Bhagavan? Bhaga means opulences, and Van means one who possesses those opulences. That's why Krishna is called as Bhagavan. And we've seen that in Krishna Katha, we normally refer to as Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna said like this, Krishna said like that, the Supreme Personality God. But when it comes to Bhagavad Gita, we see everywhere mentioning Bhagavan Uvacha. He's taking the role of Bhagavan. He's just mentioning that he is the Supreme Lord with unlimited. Why Bhaga means unlimited strength, unlimited fame, unlimited property, everything, right? Unlimited strength, even unlimited renunciation, because he was ready to become even a charioteer for his devotee, right? We know the beautiful story when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going on a tour in South India. He seen one old man holding Bhagavad Gita and crying. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked the old man, why are you crying like that, holding Bhagavad Gita? And the old man says, my guru asked me to read Bhagavad Gita, but I do not know, I'm an illiterate person. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, then why are you crying? And all the people around were laughing at him. See, he doesn't know how to read, but he's crying. Then he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why I'm crying is because when I look at the page or the cover page of Bhagavad Gita, I see the Lord Supreme, Lord Bhagavan Sri Krishna is so kind and merciful that he's ready to become even a chariot driver for his devotee. How kind and merciful that he's ready to become even a chariot driver for his devotee. That seeing that beautiful picture and seeing that how kind Krishna is, that is why I'm crying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you have understood the essence of Bhagavad Gita. You have understood the mood of Bhagavad Gita. You are the right devotee who understood that. So very important for us to understand unlimited renunciation also, that Krishna is ready to leave everything, just ready to be on the battlefield and become a chariot driver. Where Arjuna doesn't have the time also, he'll be kicking with his feet and giving the direction to Krishna. He's ready to even do that. Not only that, he comes in the middle of the battlefield, he just and he just walks away from that. So an unlimited knowledge, we get this Bhagavad Gita knowledge because we know that the entire Vedas, everything has been coming from Krishna, right? Veda is sarvaraham evo Veda, Vedanta krit Veda vid evachaham. Indeed, I am the knower of, by all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedanta. So everything is coming from Krishna. And he's the proprietor, because all the universe, everything is coming from Krishna. Bhoktaram yajanatapasam sarvam loka maheshwaram. He's the proprietor of all this entire universe, of all the demigods and of all the planets. And we know that he's all pervading, and still he appears as the son of Vasudeva. So Krishna is always reciprocating, right? Because Devaki and Vasudeva, they have done so much of austerities to have Krishna as his son. So that's the reason why he reciprocated and appeared as a son of Vasudeva. But actually, Krishna his whole energy is spread all over. Sarvata pani padam ta sarvato shiromukam sarvata smriti malloke sarvam avrita tistate. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, everywhere are his faces, everywhere are his hands, everywhere are his legs. Everywhere Krishna's presence is in every nook and corner. But because we have material eyes, we are not able to see Krishna. And that's the reason why Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, appears in the form of a deity in the temples. And that's the reason why he tells Arjuna, you cannot see me with your material eyes. Therefore, I'm giving you divine eyes so that you can see my universal form. So with our material eyes, we cannot see Krishna. So that is the reason why the way we can see Krishna is by hearing Shravanam, by hearing the beautiful Leelas of Krishna. That brings to us. And then as we purify our senses, then Krishna will be able to give us the realization. We'll be able to see the form of Krishna within our heart. And that is why in Brahma Samhita he says, Premanjana surita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayante yam shama sundara chinta guna swarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Where Brahma says the pure devotees are able to see Krishna within the heart of hearts because they develop so much of love for Krishna. The senses are purified. So when we kind of elevate our consciousness to such a pure love of Krishna, then we'll be able to see Krishna within our heart. In fact, Krishna says that is Bhakti Yoga. The Bhakti Yoga is one who is always thinking of Krishna within his heart. Yoginam api sarvesam madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate mam same yukta tamamata. Krishna gives the definition of Bhakti Yoga. One who is always thinking of Krishna within his heart and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is the topmost yoga, which is called as Bhakti Yoga. And Krishna says, that is my opinion. So Krishna is giving his opinion. So the prayers, what is beautiful thing which can understand from these beautiful prayers is that the prayers are so much of knowledge, that Bhumi Devi has so much of knowledge about Krishna. She's saying you are the original personality of Godhead, supreme cause of all the causes, Sarva Karana Karanam. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadir Adi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. This is what Brahma has been praying. Sarva Karana Karanam. You are the cause of all the causes, Krishna. You are the Supreme Lord. And so even though Krishna is still as unborn, he is the father of the entire cosmic manifestation. Krishna says, right? Aham sarvasya prabhuvo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddhavava samanvita. I am the source of all the spiritual and the material world, Krishna tells Arjuna. And everything is emanating from him. It is from Krishna that everything is coming up. A lot of people, they mistakenly say that, everything is Supreme Brahma and the avatars have come from them. But it is not right. That is the reason why it is very important to follow Bhagavad Gita, which has been translated by Prabhupada, a bona fide spiritual master like Prabhupada, who's given us this Bhagavad Gita as this. Because a lot of people have this misconception. Some people say, oh, this is all Supreme Brahman, there's only Brahman, and the avatars have come out of it. But Krishna in Bhagavad Gita clarifies this particular proverb. Brahmano hi pratistaham amritasya vyayasya cha shashvatasya hi dharmasya sukasya ikantikasya cha. Krishna says, I am the basis of the Supreme Brahman. It's not that from the Brahman Krishna has come. Krishna is saying, from me, the Supreme Brahma has been formed. So we have to understand this important point, that behind the Supreme Brahma, there is a personality, that the Supreme Personality of God, which is Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And he is the one who's the cause and effect of this cosmic manifestation. So this is a beautiful prayer. So we have to understand, how even the Mother Earth is making this beautiful prayers to Krishna, right? That you are the father of the cosmic manifestation. Krishna says, right? Pitahamasya jagato mata data pitamaha. I am the father and mother of this cosmic manifestation, Krishna says. Right? So our knowledge is coming from Bhagavatam. Our knowledge, our prayers should be coming on the footsteps of how the great devotees are praying to Krishna. So we can see whether it's Indra, whether it's Chandra, and now we see even Bhumi Devi, everybody is offering prayers. When Varuna, he started lashing, Indra started lashing out rains and all that. Finally, when Krishna put up the Govardhan hill, and later he repented, and then later he offered his prayers to Krishna as well. Even Brahma offers prayers to Krishna in Brahma Samhita. So everybody is up. Because why? Because Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Mata paratam nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre manigana. So there is nothing about Krishna. And this is another beautiful thing which I wanted to get our devotees to read as well. Anybody would like to do the next paragraph? Gayatri ji? Anyone? Nagaratu, you want to do?
I can.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Indulik Mati, did you say?
Okay, let the Prabhuji read it. They want to read. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, the next one you, okay, Nagar Prabhu, you do this, and next one Mataji will do.
My dear Lord, as for the three gods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, they are not independent of you. When there is a necessity of creating this cosmic manifestation, you create your passionate appearance of Brahma, and when you want to maintain this cosmic manifestation, you expand yourself as Lord Vishnu, the reservoir of all goodness. Similarly, you appear as Lord Shiva, master of the mode of ignorance, and thus dissolve the whole creation. You always maintain your transcendental position in spite of creating these three modes of material nature. You are never entangled in these modes of nature as the ordinary living entities are.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. It's such a beautiful, right? Every paragraph in Krishna Katha carries so much of nectar in it, right? So just in one paragraph, imagine such a beautiful knowledge that is being shared here in the form of prayers, right? Where Bhumi Devi is telling, like Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, they're not independent of you. And the necessity, whenever you have a necessity of creating, because this material world goes through these different phases of creation, maintenance, and destruction. Creation, maintenance, and destruction. But that part, Krishna explains, makes it very clear that this material universe goes through this complete manifestation, recreations. Again, it just creates, maintenance, and destroy. Again, we create, maintain, and destroy. But apart from this, if you take the entire universe, this material universe is only 1/4. And the 3/4 is actually the spiritual world. The material world is only 1/4. Can you imagine how much the spiritual world is? We are just only 1/4 this entire universe that we're talking about, this material world. But above that, there is a spiritual world which is much, much, much 3 times more than this material world. But Krishna, whenever he wants to come to the point of creation, and that is when he takes these different forms. We know from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Adityanam aham Vishnu. He says, of all the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Rudranam Sankarashchasmi. Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. So Krishna is making it very clear. You don't need to get confused about it. I am the one who's creating, who's taking these different forms, taking the form of Brahma. And Krishna expands from the left-hand side. Krishna expands as Radharani. From the right-hand side, he expands as Lord Balaram. And from Balaram, Shankar. And again, there are further expansions. And then we have Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And from Garbhodakshai Vishnu, you find from the lotus navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu, you find Brahma appearing from there. So like that, we find that Krishna, for the purpose of creation, maintenance, and destruction, is taking different forms, right? And this is what and also another point, there were 2 points here which is mentioned, that how Krishna himself is taking 2 different forms as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva for the purpose of creation, maintenance, and destruction. And finally, and the other point that is being mentioned is also about Krishna as a transcendental portion, that he is above the modes of nature. Because in this material world, Krishna has two of his energies, spiritual energy and material energy. We are part of the spiritual energy, but again, he's got his material energy as well. And this material energy consists of 3 modes, Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance, right? And Krishna says, Prakrite Kriya Manani Gunai Karmani Sharvashaha Ahankara Vibhutatma Kartahamiti Manyate. The spirit soul, that is we, Jivatmas, under the influence of false ego, we think that we are the ones who are doing all the activities. But in actuality, everything is being done by the 3 modes of material nature, which means we are just like puppets in the hands of the material energy. But Krishna is the one who's managing this material energy. He is the one the material energy is working under the direction of Krishna, right? Maya Jakshena Prakriti Suyate Satara Characharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagat Viparivat. Krishna says this material energy, Arjuna, is working under my direction. So Krishna, we have to understand the thing is, we are as puppets, we are within the control of this, we are entangled in these 3 modes of material nature, but Krishna, he has got a much higher transcendental position. He's above the 3 modes of material nature, and we are under the 3 modes of material nature. So and Krishna says, Daivihayesha Gunamaya Mama Maya Duratya. Krishna says, this material energy, Arjuna, this is my energy. So it is very difficult for you to cross this material energy, because this material energy is making you drive like puppets. But this material energy is in my hand, Arjuna. So that is the reason why Krishna advises in Bhagavad Gita, Mamcha yoga bicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Krishna gives us the secret how to transcend these 3 modes of material nature. Krishna says, one who is unfailingly always engaging in bhakti towards me, they will be able to transcend these 3 modes of material nature. So we also have to have this. You can see how much of nectar is there in this paragraph, where he's making it very clear that even though you're totally transcendental to these 3 modes, you are the ones, you're above these 3 modes of material nature. And Krishna never gets entangled in these 3 modes of material nature. The reason why we are all we are conditioned souls in the material world is because we are conditioned by these 3 gunas, Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, right? And we are all being conditioned by these 3 gunas. We are being controlled by these 3 gunas. But Krishna is above these 3 gunas. And that's the reason why, if we take to the lotus feet of Krishna, we'll be able to transcend these 3 modes of material. Then we will not only go to the level of Sattva Guna, but we will go into Suddha Sattva Guna, mode of pure goodness. So by engaging in bhakti towards Krishna. So, and I just wanted to just ask Mataji, Indulekha Mataji, would you like to just read this paragraph?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you. Actually, my Lord, you are the material nature, you are the father of the universe, and you are eternal time, which has caused the combination of the elements of nature and the manifestation of the material creation. Still, you are always transcendental to all these material activities. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know that earth, water, fire, air, sky, the five sense objects, mind, the senses and their deities, egotism, and the total material energy, all things animate and inanimate in this phenomenal world rest upon you. Since everything is produced of you, nothing can be separate from you. Yet, since you are transcendentally situated, nothing material can be identified with your personality. Everything is therefore simultaneously one with you and different from you. And the philosophers who try to separate everything from you are certainly mistaken in this viewpoint. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. That was wonderful. So we can see that even the prayers, there's so much that we can learn from the prayers of Bhumi Devi, how she's glorifying Krishna with so much of knowledge of this, because that was the beauty about Vedic culture, that people had so much of advanced spiritual knowledge. We remember, like in the beginning, when Kamsa was tormenting Vasudeva and Devaki, Vasudeva had given so much of a gyan to Kamsa, saying that, this life is temporary, there's a life after life, and there's so many things that he explains to Kamsa. So people throughout Krishna Katha, if you see, people in those days, they had such wonderful knowledge of the Vedic culture. They were so knowledgeable that you can see even Bhumi Devi also, because obviously she's serving Krishna, and she's the one who has gone and prayed to Brahma, please, there's too much of demoniac people like Kamsa and the Kauravas. Please come and help me, protect me on this. And that's why Krishna has come. So she knows that the knowledge, with so much of knowledge, he goes to Brahma, and Brahma then requests, and that's how Krishna comes out there. And so here you can see that you are the father of the universe. So Bhumi Devi, because they're the demigods and that devatas, they have a very good knowledge about the position of Krishna, because they're all serving Krishna. You are the father of the universe, Pitahamasya Jagato. And Krishna says, right, you are the eternal time. And Krishna tells in the 11th chapter that he is time and he's come to destroy everybody. And he has arranged, when Krishna does something, he puts everything in a wholesale. He gathered all the demoniac people on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and in one go, he literally wiped out all of them. He's Kala. He says, I'm time, right? And as we just now mentioned, he's always transcendental to this material activity. Krishna says that I have nothing to do with all these things which are happening in this material, but still he is doing this duty because he wants to make it very clear that as long as you're in this material world, you have to do your duty, and he doesn't want to set a bad example. So he says that even though I'm totally neutral and I've got nothing to do with, still he's doing his things in the mood of renunciation, complete detachment towards all the things. And he's seen also like Bhumi Devi having this, we can see that Bhumi Devi has this knowledge about, because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that all of these Bhumi Lapo Nalo Vayu Kammano Buddhit. So he says earth, water, fire, ether. These are all these energies of Krishna. Right? So, and they're all resting upon Krishna. So we have to understand, many times people say, like, I'm doing my own karma, so why do I need God and things like that? But they don't understand, like, everything is coming from Krishna. Isavasayam idam sarvam. That means everything is company. Krishna is the one who is the owner of everything in this planet. So whatever we are doing, our energies, our mind, intelligence, everything is coming from Krishna. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishta matasmritir jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna says, I'm seated in everyone's heart, and from me you are getting this remembrance, knowledge, and for everything is coming from Krishna. All these are energies of Krishna. And that's the reason why when we know this knowledge about Krishna, through the gratitude will turn into gratitude, because of ignorance, we try to take God out of the picture. Today all day I was talking to somebody, a friend of mine, there's a Los Angeles, there's some big fires that are going on over there. And somebody has written something on a board saying that there is no God, or God has become zero and things like that. So in the material world, what's happening is when people think that they can accomplish everything, they remove God out of the equation. When you're trying to remove God out of the equation, and when you're trying to do all these things, you are at the mercy of this material energy. But only when you surrender to the Krishna, the material energy, the Mahamaya, will transform into Yoga Maya to support you. So it's very important to understand these subtle things. And that's the reason why Krishna says, Imam Vivasvate Yogam. That means this Bhagavad Gita and this knowledge is complete. Imam Vivasvate is the science of yoga. So whatever Krishna is giving this knowledge, or whatever we are understanding, this is science. Krishna is giving the science of yoga, the supreme subtle secrets of the universe, why we are suffering in the world. What is this material energy? How is this material energy working? Is it independent? Who's the controller? Who's the supreme controller? everything is kind of so crystal clear, it's explained and in Bhagavad Gita. So that's the reason why it is very important to understand both Bhagavad Gita as well as, because out there Krishna says that these are all my energies, and we can find that the same thing here. Bhumi Devi is saying earth, water, fire, these are all your energies. So you can see how we can link up all these things. You can read from Bhagavad Gita that Krishna is saying these are all his energies, and you can see here the devotee of that Mother Earth is doing her prayers to Krishna. So this is how we can relate Bhagavad Gita to Krishna Katha. Over there, Krishna is telling about his energies, and here we can see the devotees are making prayers by quoting about these beautiful things. And finally, we'll just want one more this thing, and then we will close for the day. Anyone would like to?
Yeah, I can go.
Yeah, Prabhuji, go ahead.
My dear Lord, may I inform you that this boy, whose name is Bhagadatta, is the son of my son, Baumasura. He has been very much affected by the ghastly situation created by the death of his father, and has become very much confused and afraid. I have therefore brought him to surrender unto your lotus feet. I request your lordship to give shelter to this boy and bless him with your lotus feet. I will bring him to you so that he may be relieved of the reactions of all the sinful activities of his father.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
So we can see this, the stories, these beautiful historical things. They're so much very personal, isn't it? Bhumi Devi, like as I said, this Narakashara or Baumasura, whom we call, is actually the son of Bhumi Devi. Again, there's like all these things. They have so much of backdrop and a lot of context. How come he happened to become the, how come she happened to have a demoniac? And so, like, so many things are there. But then the point here is Mother Earth, Bhumi Devi, she's actually mentioning about Baumasura, Narakashara's son. He's got his son called Bhagadatta. And obviously there was a kind of, as we covered earlier in the paragraph, where how Krishna, he engages in a fight with Baumasura and how he chops off the head. Because seeing all these things, his Narakashara or Baumasura's son Bhagadatta must have been badly affected by seeing all these things. And so obviously as a grandmother, she got grandmothers are obviously more affectionate towards their grandchildren, so she got them to Krishna, asking him to bless him, so that he may be relieved of the reaction. Because again, you see the karmic effect, like when the father does something demoniac, that it may impact the children, right? Because we all have this knowledge, right? We are not alone from that. Whatever our parents had done, we know that many times we have this good karma because of so many nice things that our parents have done. We enjoy the karmic reaction of that. We enjoy the good karma because our parents have done so much of nice things. Similarly, when it is mentioned that when we chant the holy names of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, up to 16 generations of your ancestors will be relieved. So there is a lot of cause and effect. And because every karmic thing that we do has got a repercussion, has got a result and a karmic reaction to it. So even whatever father, because he was very demoniac, there's every chance that the reaction may come on to his son. So seeing that, but if here the point is that Mother Earth is praying to Krishna that if he can bless him, then he will be relieved of all the sinful actions of his father. In fact, if you remember in Bhagavad Gita, the final statement, the signature statement of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, what is it? Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam saranam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhya mokshayisyami ma sucha. Abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me, and I will protect you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So you see how we can link Bhagavad Gita to this. Krishna is saying over there, if you surrender to me, I will protect you from all the reactions, sinful reactions. And this is what Mother Earth is asking him, to bless him so that he will be relieved of all the sinful actions of his father. You see how nicely we can understand Bhagavad Gita when we link it to Krishna Katha. So this is what is happening. So obviously Bhumi Devi is asking, and so Krishna, as Krishna, you always know, he's always so kind and reciprocated towards his devotees. So when Krishna heard the prayers of Mother Earth, he immediately assured her that of all this, immunity from all, that he's not going to be impacted. So he is telling his grandson, Bhumi Devi's grandson, don't be afraid. And then he enters into the palace of Narakashara, Baumasura, which was equipped with all kind of opulences. In the palace of Baumasura, Lord Krishna saw 16,100 young princesses who had been kidnapped and held captive over there. So we can see that, he has gone and kidnapped all these young princes. When the princes saw the Supreme Bhagavan Sri Krishna enter the palace, they immediately became captivated by the beauty of the Lord. So you can see Krishna has got unlimited beauty, that when he was looking so beautiful that they were like instantly fell in love with him. And they prayed for his causeless mercy. Because why mercy? Because they've been imprisoned here by this demoniac person, Baumasura. And within their minds, they decided to accept Lord Krishna as their husband without hesitation. So one of the beauty that we can see about Krishna, the very word Krishna, Krish means all attractive, and Na means full of bliss, unlimited bliss. So Krishna means all attractive and full of bliss. So we can see that how enchanting is it that whether it's Rukmini Devi, without even seeing Krishna, she fell just by hearing about Krishna from Narada Muni. Similarly, even all these gopis, they were so much in love with Krishna. They were always thinking about how to please Krishna. So this is what happens. Krishna not only steals butter, but he steals the hearts of all the people whom he have the darshan of the Supreme Lord. So within their mind, they decided that Krishna only has to be their husband without hesitation. And each of them prayed to the providence that Krishna might become her husband. Sincerely and seriously, they offered their hearts to the lotus feet of Krishna with an unalloyed devotional attitude. You can imagine. So, and this is what happens, right? When the devotees see Krishna, they get so mesmerized and enchanted. You remember when Dhruva Maharaj, he did intense prayers for Lord Vishnu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. He did such intense prayers that even the demigods were shaken up. The whole world was shaken up with the prayers of the Dhruva Maharaj. But finally, when Krishna appeared in front of Dhruva Maharaj was like, Krishna asked Dhruva, what do you want, my son? What can I do for you? And Dhruva Maharaj, as soon the small boy, 5-year-old boy, when he seen Krishna, the darshan of Krishna, he said, Kritartho Swami Varam Navacha. He said, like, Krishna, after seeing you, I don't want anything. I don't want kingdom. Actually, he did all these prayers so that he can get his father's kingdom. But when he seen Krishna in front of him, he was so mesmerized seeing the beautiful form of Krishna that he said, I don't want anything at all. I feel like when a diamond like you is in front of me, I have been asking for broken glass pieces. So this was the realization that Dhruva Maharaj is saying. So because we do not have the taste or we do not know the beauty of Krishna or how enchanting Krishna is, we are asking for so many silly things, material things. Give me a car, give me a job, give me so many things. But if we see Krishna itself, we'll forget about all those things. We'll say, we just don't want anything. We just want you only. And so this we can understand even from but how we will get to know the realization, how that Krishna is so beautiful? From Krishna Katha, when we see the gopis and we can see the princes also, and here they're so sincerely, they're praying that to have Krishna as their husband. And as the super soul in everyone's heart, Krishna could understand their uncontaminated desire and he agreed to accept them as his wives. Thus he arranged for suitable garments and ornaments for them, and each of them seated on a palanquin was dispatched to Dwarka city, right? That was his home city. We all know that Krishna is always, throughout Krishna Katha, we can see Krishna is only reciprocating. So because the people of Mathura are being attacked by Jarasandha, so Krishna created a city called Dwarka in the middle of the sea, and he transferred all the people from Mathura into the city of Dwarka. So that's how he reciprocates. Now, that is his home city now, and then now he gets all the princes, 16,100 princes to the city of Dwarka. And Krishna also collected unlimited wealth from the palace of this Baumasura, the treasure of chariots, horses, jewels, and so on. But again, we have to understand that everything is coming from Krishna. Everything, the planets, the universe, everything is coming from Krishna. So what to speak about jewels and horses? He took off from the palace 50 white elephants, each with a 4 tusks, and all of them were dispatched to Dwarka. So now, so I just want to stop over here. The nectar is flowing, but somewhere we have to stop because I have to respect your weekday time as well. I just crossed a bit. Normally we try to close a bit around 9 o'clock, but I just couldn't stop myself. I had to just keep going on because Krishna Katha is so much of nectar, and also this particular chapter is where the most well-known story of how Krishna went and he's actually saved this princess, right? So Krishna is always reciprocating. He's saving this princess from the hands of the demoniac king called Baumasura. And he not only that, he has accepted their wishes. And then we'll see further like how Krishna is, reciprocating to the 16,000 wives and what he has done for them, and about Lord Krishna and Satyabhama going to this planet, to the Indra. and the planet of heavenly planets of Indra, Devaloka, and then we'll see another beautiful pastime. So there's another beautiful pastime that are going to happen in the next few paragraphs, which we will cover about Parijata flower and things like that, along with Krishna and Satyabhama. I will keep that, reserve it for next week, as we always see in that, nectar keeps flowing. And the beauty of Krishna Katha, it is never, not even a single minute, like fully action. Whenever there is Krishna, there is always going to be full of joy and full of nectar that we always keep tasting, right? And it is so unlimited. So I just want to stop over here. And I want to just ask like any kind of realizations, corrections, and anything that you would like to share or anything like at all from our devotees. Hare Krishna. Amaga Prabhu, Sanchit Mataji, anyone would like to add anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very beautiful, Prabhuji. To hear Krishna Katha. This is going on. It's a relishing nectar. So that is Krishna, when Krishna is there. So Sanjeevati se Akila Shakti Daraha Swadamna. He will enliven all the senses.
Absolutely. The very name of Rishikesha, master of all the senses. So when we please Krishna, by listening to the Krishna Katha, when Krishna becomes pleased, our senses also become pleased. So, and this is how the real happiness is, that pleasing Krishna, and that's how our senses getting pleased. And in a way that we purify our senses also by listening to Krishna Katha.
Yes.
And also the knowledge. And I think as devotees of Krishna, it is very important for all of us to taste the nectar and also to spread this nectar with everyone. Because a lot of people, they misunderstand Krishna. A lot of people, they don't know about Krishna, and they just talk on a material platform. But we as devotees, we have to correct people. We have to tell them that it's all on transcendental platform, and Krishna is reciprocating. Krishna doesn't need a 16,000 princes, but he's just reciprocating to their wishes, because Krishna is unlimited. He can satisfy unlimited number of people who come to him.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. It took us through this journey and revive all the stories of Krishna. Yes, as you said, Krishna didn't go to find any of these princesses. There is no way that Krishna went and married a wife, like straightforward. It's everywhere, fighting or coming to him, or that's Krishna's story. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for adding this thing. I'm so happy to have your association. And Gayatri Ji, thank you for joining us. It feels so nice that we are like one kutumbam of Krishna, isn't it? One family of Krishna. No matter nook and corner of the world we are there, we all dive into this nectar of Krishna, Krishna Katha. So I feel so happy.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Mataji. Devotees joining all this makes us very happy and blissful. So I just want to express my gratitude.
Thank you, Prabhu. It was a wonderful session. Really enjoyed it thoroughly.
Thank you, Mataji, for giving your
Prabhu.
time and association. Naril Prabhu, Sanchit Mataji, Usha Mataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, we shared last week, so we were doing the same chapter. So, yeah, it was nice listening and, of course, finishing this katha. So, always Krishna's pastimes are full of action, drama. I wish we got this opportunity of seeing all the little Krishna is there, but, the other pastime, I wish they make so many cartoons and nonsense for the children, but if they were all there for everybody to understand, if somebody had thought and put some, the financiers who can, and somebody had the brain to just animate or do some way all these, the next generation would have been so beneficial knowing this. Sometimes people do not read books, so it's knowing this through even animation like children love watching Little Krishna. So this would have been so nice to, all these misconceptions about the 1,608 wives and all this, has remained a taboo kind of in the society whenever you talk about Krishna, and then things come up like that. But if it was in the form of visual something, it would have helped the society and get over this and clarify the doubts. Yeah.
Absolutely, Mataji. What you said is absolutely true.
Yeah.
In fact, but again, they don't listen to the whole picture, and that's a very, very important thing. When we read anything, we should read it completely and then come to a conclusion on the, because, like, say for example, Krishna created 16,000 palaces for them, and then he expanded himself in 16. So that they're not aware, right? So some of these things are very transcendental. That's the reason why Krishna is saying, like, everything that whatever thing Krishna does, they're all divyam, transcendental, not to be understood on a material platform. And that's the reason why devotees have our own responsibility, that we share with everyone and share the nectar, so that it's very clear. Because this is where a lot of people, they try to misuse the advantage of, like, just talking about some of these things, which are very transcendental topics. So
yes, Prabhuji, we should not also believe what those producers, what they show, because they don't have the real knowledge of the Shastras.
yes.
They just project whatever comes, because they are after money.
Yes.
And every time they leave the serial, it's at sometimes something like suspense, so that people are attracted to know what is happening. So my own experience, last year, I think I was back home, and I could watch the serial of Krishna on television, and my brothers who are not devotees, we had arguments. And in one part, they showed that Samba, I think the son of Jambavati, he take a vow to go and kill Krishna, because this is that Krishna has neglected his mother Jambavati. That's why he's going to kill Krishna. That is never there. But they put it like that. They just want to get people, to attract people, like, falsely, not really. So I told my brothers, don't watch this nonsense.
Yeah.
These are producers who want to get money. If you are genuine, if the ISKCON people make a movie, that is bona fide. Otherwise, I don't advise people to watch, because we get that misconception in our head. That is what happens.
Absolutely, Mataji. You have such an important point that you made, actually. In fact, you see the latest movie, Kalki, with all the latest, whatever
AI things and all.
Yeah, they have just kind of like glorified Ashwatthama, who's actually who's been actually cursed by.
Is it already out, Prabhuji? I haven't watched.
It is. Yeah, it is. It has been, and they showed him like in a different light, actually, not the story kind of thing. So it's like, some of these things are so, as you mentioned rightly, just to create more interest in the people, and just to create that excitement and the thrill, they go and distort our own stories. And it's very unfortunate, because if somebody else has done it, it's understandable, but it's people from our own
our own background. Yes.
Yeah, with the same our same Hindu background, without even understanding the proper stories. I don't know where they gather these things from, and they exaggerate, and they make, so people who have never heard about Mahabharata or don't know these stories, they think that is real, and they'll think that that's what the story is. So when we tell them, they'll think that maybe we don't. So that's the reason why it is so important, as devotees of Krishna, that we kind of like correct people, like, and give them the right knowledge that this is not true, actually. And Bhagavatam,
but Prabhuji, they won't believe us, because they have been following these serials from 10, 15, 20 years, Ramayana, Mahabharata. Now, when you tell them the right thing, the actual thing, and they say, oh, no, that is not true. You don't know. That is true. So you cannot argue with people. Unless they read, they come to the senses and they know it by themselves. Then it will be correct.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree, Mati. People like that kind of a thing. They like to just believe something else, because they're using their material senses, and they just use logic to understand.
Exactly.
Of course, I agree with the discussion. And, like earlier when we had 30 years back, when we had Ramayana by Ramanand Sagar and B.R. Chopra by Mahabharata. So that time I felt, looking at that, I don't remember everything, but most of it was, I would say, 90-80% in sync with the Shastras, or the books, the Itihasas, like the epic books. But these days, I mean, people just fabricate. So, I mean, until a devotee, like, is doing or something, it's very difficult. So I actually meant that, like when we had this Maharaj, who made the story on Prabhupada, Abhay Charan. I'm just forgetting his name. He's from Bengali Prabhu, who just passed away. So sorry, I mean, maybe, yeah.
Bhakti Char Maharaj?
Yeah, Prabhu. Sorry, I'm just maybe losing memory. Yeah, Bhakti Char Maharaj. So when he did it, like, so that's like when devotees are doing it, they can include Shastra. But like, if we say these days, like Adi Purush and all these, what they're doing, they're even, showing Ravana, a negative character in a positive way, that he was so learned and all that, and not sticking to Shastra. So this knowledge is somehow, that's the, latest, I feel that's the latest, as they say, India growing in every aspect. West is like pumping money to make these woke people like make things and contribute in a way which does not adhere to the Shastra and make people more bewildered. Earlier, when the English people left, they made a concept like, they that without knowing English, you are just you do not have any pride in your learning Sanskrit and Hindi. So that's how Sanskrit got erased. And now it's the new thing, like, you have got AI, you have got this thing, that thing, just make use of it and do not respect the Shastras and just make their own story. So that is happening. So yeah, until it's made by like devotees into this line, so production, it's difficult to get the actual message passed down visually. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, and you're right, because people don't, attention span is very less, isn't it? If you kind of like, when you want to explain also, people don't have attention span. They just want something very exciting, which can be, which just enchants their eyes. That's all they want to know. Something which makes them believe, like a nice graphical things, or using AI, producing something like Kalki, the latest one. There's people are so excited seeing that, oh, wow, it's the visual display is amazing. But the story is wrong. The content is wrong. So what's the point? Content matters, right? Content is very important. But yeah, sometimes I feel Krishna conscious people, maybe we should be there in every field actually to make contributions in so many ways and correct some of these things actually. Otherwise, there'll always likely going to be distortion. But at least as devotees, there are people, like some nice devotees like Gaurang Das Prabhu and Amoga Prabhu who are doing a great job actually just spreading this knowledge. So maybe over a period of time, as we, as the devotees spread everywhere, we can just pass on this knowledge as well. Yeah. So
thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for yourself. You just explained so nicely, and the story that you read and you explained, and everywhere you just connected Bhagavad Gita with nearly everything that you said, and the verses on the tip of the fingers. Like, so this is the way that people like you should go forward and preach to others. That is the way to do. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. This is my enthusiasm is that when I see devotees, I feel so happy that when I see all these beautiful stories and of the real from Krishna Katha, and remember how Krishna spoke in Bhagavad Gita, I feel like sharing. So I'm always so excited about sharing with our devotees. And we've been doing it like the last. I'm so happy that in the assembly of our devotee association, our devotees are able to do this. So I want to just thank everyone for giving your association. Please kindly join next week as well. We're going to be completing this chapter and then we will go on to the next chapter. But yeah, the remaining one is very, very interesting. How Krishna goes and creates those palaces and things like that. So we're going to cover that I just kept that for next week. And Indulekha Mataji and Gayatri Mataji, please, if you can, please feel happy to join us. Always joyful to have devotees association.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Due to time differences, it's 8 hours different. UK is ahead. So, and then we have other commitments.
Oh yeah. Where are you based, Mataji? Where are you based?
I am placed we are placed in Victoria off Vancouver. There's island of Victoria, very far. We are in the West Coast.
Okay, both of you are from UK. Okay, I thought
we are like neighbors.
Okay. I thought only Gayatri is from.
No, we are both here.
Oh, that's so kind of you. But we're all one family. So anytime, Mataji,
yes,
if you can, please.
I will join anytime. I will join. Thank you.
Happy to have your
I
association.
will also try and join, Prabhu,
Yeah.
anytime.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
Prabhuji. Thank
So
you. Always
thank you so much. It
Yeah.
was wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Let's all
Hare
please
Krishna,
kindly
Prabhu.
unmute and say 3 loud Hari Bols to Prabhu Shyam Prabhu. Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Vanchakalpatarubhyasya
Kripasintanam Plavanebhyo
Namo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo.
Anantakoti Vaishnava
Jai.
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 Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Have a good Krishna conscious night, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare